we're all alive, aren't we? Oh my gosh, it's wonderful to see you all at the NewSouth Bookstore. Many of you are our regular friends and customers and supporters. We have a Auburn Opelika contingent here tonight. Welcome. So glad to see you all. This place here in Montgomery, in downtown Montgomery, if I do say so myself, it's special because of the people who work here. It's special because of the kind of books that are here, some real treasures. It's special because of the energy. There's a kind of great energy that we've tapped into here at the store, and a lot of that is thanks to you. I mean, you show up, you are excited about the programming, you thank us for it, you return for the next event, and for that, let me just say we are very, very grateful. So thank you all. 3 cheers to you. My remarks will be very brief. I obviously want to introduce these 2 guests. I want to mention that we do a lot of programming here at the NewSouth Bookstore. Sometimes we have 2 and 3 events a week. They're diverse. History talks, educational programs, poetry read-alouds, and if you're not following us on social media or getting our newsletter, please sign up for the newsletter. It's at the front register. All our events are online. You can find us pretty easily, and I hope you'll come. We have, I'm jumping around on you here, but we have Susie Paul, a wonderful new poetry program that we debuted this year called 1 Hour, 1 Poem. And Susie Paul, who's a master poet herself and has taught 19th century American poetry, is doing a fabulous job introducing people to Don't Die, Ralph Waldo Emerson, and Longfellow, and Walt Whitman, and there's a lot of engagement and I see some people smiling, and I see you, Alan, in this, because it really is great, and the interaction is wonderful, and you get to learn, and guess what? It's over in 1 hour, like to the minute, so it's not a big investment of time, and she's going to be here the week after next with the 4th in her series teaching Emily Dickinson. And in December, we're going to recognize our new Alabama Poet Laureate-elect, Jackie Trimble, who's in the audience back. We're having a reception for her Tuesday, December 10th. Thank you. Hard to keep track of them all. And reception, and she'll be reading from American Happiness, her first collection of poems, which NewSouth Books published, and is now being introduced in paperback. So that's another poetry program. We have a big annual holiday program that's a little bit literary and a lot of cheer, and that happens, and it's readings from holiday-themed works by Washington Irving and Damon Runyon. So the point is, it's a real mixed bag. There's something, we hope, there's something for everyone. I hope you'll be part of what we're doing here. It's a good place, especially now at this time in our world. Okay, this program belongs to 2 wonderful people. One, actually, I only recently met, Larry Mitchell to my right, and Jeanie Thompson, who's a longtime friend. Larry is a Grammy Award, this is really good. I mean, this is a small audience for what he's used to, but Larry is a Grammy Award-winning producer, virtuoso, guitarist, engineer, sound engineer, the man of many, many talents. And he is with us tonight from Opelika. He has toured with such greats as Tracy Chapman and others that you know, Billy Squire, a really prodigious career. We're really grateful to have you here tonight. He is half of the program. They have collaborated in an interesting way on a program, a project called "The Myth of Water Go Into Your Life," which is based on a collection of poems that Jeanie Thompson, our second guest, published many, many years ago. It was an award-winning work, conceptually really interesting work about the life of Helen Keller. And so this new project is a collaboration of poetry and music between Jeanie and Larry Mitchell. Jeanie is here. Oh, there she is in the front row. I'm looking all over for you, Jeanie. Jeanie is, among other things, an award-winning poet with a number of collections to her name, The Myth of Water being one of them. She is, importantly, the founder of the Alabama Writers Forum, a really important literary arts advocacy organization that I believe you founded like 34, 35 years ago. Last year, she was the winner of the Albert B. Head Legacy Award for her work as a literary advocate and an award-winning poet. And interestingly, we are honored to have the former director of the State Council on the Arts, in whom this award is named, Al Head. He is also in the audience. Al, we're delighted to see you. So this is a real coming together of family, friends, and talented folks. I'm leaving it to Jeanie and Larry. Thank you for being here. And by the way, the music was free.
Good evening, everybody. I'm going to take a minute to kind of settle down. The Myth of Water, as Suzanne said, sort of grew out of the book, The Myth of Water, that was published by the University of Alabama Press in 2016. So it's been a little while. The way that this project, and I'm going to make sure I look at my notes and get this straight, but the way that we ended up doing this project was because of the Harper Lee Award. Some of you might have heard of the Harper Lee Award. It's given by a coalition of people who are based in Monroeville, and the Alabama Writers Forum was one of the founders of the award. But the year that Joy Harjo received it, who is our now, she's no longer the U.S. Poet Laureate, but she's a 3-time laureate, first Native American person as a Poet Laureate. She and Larry had worked together a lot. He had recorded her. He plays in her band sometimes. Recently he did. She called him and said, "Hey, I need you to come play." So anyway, when Joy received her award in Monroeville, Larry and other friends came to be there and see it. And so we just talked briefly for a minute. But somehow we managed to keep talking enough to the point where he said, "Well, I could record you if you want me to. I could record your poetry." And I was like, "Why would you want to record my poetry?" Anyway, I went over to the studio and we worked on some poems, and I was really bad at it to begin with because I didn't understand about recording. You told me. I read too fast. I had memorized my poems. I was, used to having it in front of me. And we started out, and I'm going to get to our program here in just a second, but we started out with me reading poems from some of my older works that deal with the Alabama landscape. And then I said, I want you to hear these Helen Keller poems because they have there's a lot of heart and soul and emotion in them. And so that's when it started taking off. And I just want to thank Larry. I'm not going to cry. We have a joke that I cry. Okay. I can't help it. I have that reflex. And if anybody knows a way to get rid of that reflex, I'd like to know about it. But it's been a lot of fun. I've learned a whole lot. And I've learned a tremendous amount about guitar production. I just need to say this. Larry is on Instagram and Facebook and Twitch and a lot of places, but a lot of the people that he communicates with are people who make guitars. Nags guitars, Emerald guitars in Ireland. And so I've had this crash course in guitar production, and it's really wonderful. I've enjoyed it a lot. I also want to acknowledge the fact that the Alabama State Council on the Arts, Elliot Knight is here with us, contributed a grant to us to help pay for the production costs. So we really appreciate that, Elliot, and I hope you like what you hear tonight, because I might come see you again. There are 8 poems, 8 songs. 5 are the Helen Keller material. 3 are the landscape material. It will be real obvious which is which, but they're integrated together. And we're going to start with one called "This Day to Peter Fagan," which is also called "Dark Dancer" in the video. There are 3 videos that we have up on Instagram. And I just want to thank Suzanne and everybody who's come tonight. And I hope we'll sit back at the back later and answer questions. And if you'd like to get the little CD and booklet, they've got them up at the front. Are we ready? I know you are. All right. Okay. This day to Peter Fagan. Into my hand the stars poured light, and I knew you, or so I thought. There was no way for you to know my darkness, understand my silence, but you persisted with your questions, probing. You shook language in my face and asked me to dance syntax with you. Dark dancer, I followed your lead. And if you could have seen what I knew through our touch, we would have been one. The night comes, I dress, remember my beliefs, and make my way quietly down the stairs, guided by your presence in me. Alabama again is a place to flee. Alone on sister's front porch, without teacher, scent of tea olive lingering. Your promises fade into morning's traffic until you are no more than a rumble from the street, signaling day. Let loss, only loss, guide me. Not to be yours, Helen. Not to be yours this day. Okay, thank you. Snapshot. Yeah, okay. Snapshot in the red fields. Dirt cakes his boot soles as he steps down from the machine, idling now in the field. The sun slants toward evening, and the smell of damp, just turned earth fills him so that he thinks he will burst with it. He must stop now and look before the daylight leaves, before the hawk spreads its wings one last time and disappears over the tree grove. The machine coughs. A dirty cloud of diesel plumes the air. The man sifts the earth through his fingers, something he can't touch often enough. Impossible to explain to anyone how the fields keep him alive. And in this moment, when the plow has turned the rows and the earth is open before him, he would just as soon dive into it and forget himself, down into its depths, rather than lose it or know that the season would not come again. That poem was inspired by the cotton fields in North Alabama, which now I think they're wheat fields now. But really, they're beautiful, and I was entranced by them, and I can't get this open. I really imagined that character for a long time, and I wanted to write a novel about it, Bart, but I don't have whatever it takes to think up a novel. I had him out there in the field, but I didn't have, what is the next move? This river. I have to say that I said all these poems are in Alabama, but actually How to Enter the River takes place on the Leaf River in Mississippi. So I have to say that. How to Enter the River. The river sings for you now in the green, trees bowing as you move past. Beneath you, around you, the water is a muscle, a heart of jewels spilled over rock. The river sings for you now, trees bowing as you move past. I say, forget your hand on the paddle, how your arm dips and pulls, guides the boat to enter the water unnoticed. You keep your back turned and move effortlessly through the rapids, sure of your skill. You feel where the boat must go. There is a sadness in your straight, impassive back, as if by turning, you will go on forever, forever here, among lighted waters, flexing, opening around you in song. This is how you enter the river. And this is how you enter the river. And this is how the river enters you. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. This is the first time I've ever given a reading this way. I've given a lot of readings, but I've never given one where I have to think in 3 dimensions while I'm doing it. So I appreciate Larry's patience. He's cool. He doesn't care. The lyrical tree.
I said I didn't get flowers.
Oh, that was okay. The Lyrical Trees is one of the oldest poems that I'm reading tonight. It's very old. It came out in the book called The Myth of How to Enter the River, I think. But it's really an ode to the beauty of the crepe myrtle tree in the wintertime. And these trees, Wayne Sides was photographing them, and he was photographing and I was writing at the same time. It was kind of neat. But we both had the same thought at the same time, is that these trees look like dancers. And they were in front of an old abandoned house in Tuscaloosa County. And there's a beautiful photograph of them. The Lyrical Trees. It's winter, and we've turned once again to the landscape for some scrap of truth to confound us, to show us who we are. But the land is cold, burrowed deep into itself this winter. A brown furze covers the pastures where cattle huddle against one another in the bitter afternoon light. Across the ground, around the deserted house, over the trees, the vines of summer make a ghost network holding fast for spring. It's all set to pull us down into its slow heartbeat. All but these 3, rising in twists that dancers dream to imitate, in love with this season, when their beautiful bare limbs, their smooth bark, can sing and move upward in the shattering air. Those lyrical trees, those lyrical trees. Thank you. Whoops. And I'll just put in a plug for something else right here. Wayne Sides and I have done a little collaborative book project that will be published by 7 Points Press in November. 7 Points is a small press in North Alabama that promotes poetry. You know, it's like the biggest money-making operation you can imagine. It's bigger than a data center. But anyway, we decided we would do this thing to try to give the press some more, help give it some, what am I trying to say here? To be known. I've lost the word, but Elliot, I'm trying to get them to come get a grant, but they're not a 501c3 yet. So, but the Lyrical Trees is in that book, and the beautiful photograph is in that book. Okay. Back to Helen. I've got River, Bridge, and Sky, but we can do whichever way you want to do it. Wave is next.
That's me. I'm lost.
That's okay. It's okay. Anne Sullivan, Helen's teacher, died in the fall of 1936. In the following spring, Helen and her, the person who stepped in to be her companion, Polly Thompson, went to Japan, which is something that Helen and Annie had wanted to do. And they went on a big ocean liner, because of course you couldn't fly then. And this takes place on the ship. And so there are references to things that relate to that, including teacher is Anne Sullivan. And so that's where it's set. Okay. River, Bridge, and Sky. North Pacific Ocean, April 14th, 1937. At 6 a.m., a mist floated around the ship like incense from a burner. Polly and I take our last walk on deck. Both silent. We know what the other is thinking. This is teacher's birthday. We practice the speeches, ready ourselves to pose. Plucking the flower of life, the Chinese say of death. Today I think of you, teacher, as a lotus flower, opening in the morning with curving petals and leaves whose surfaces reflect every mood of sky. I think of those who will say behind their hands, she who doesn't know light, much less a flower, writes this. Before we set sail, there was a gift, the cast of your hand, reaching for what I knew I could never find again, that electric touch, the thumb and index finger forming the letter L. I traced each line in your palm, startlingly distinct and true. Teacher, you made a path for me, a small, well-tended garden with turns for river, bridge, and sky. The world knows you opened my hand, and names flew into the air. But who can know how you touched me with your sight, begged me to enter a land you promised I would see. River, bridge, and sky. Can you hear it okay? Okay. You okay? Sure. Is the voice okay with the? It seems loud to me, but that's because I'm standing in between them. Thank you. Thank you. We good? Okay. Little boy. One of the things that, I'm going off script here, one of the things that Helen really wanted was to be a mother. She wanted that. And because her family interrupted, what are you doing there? Did we do it? This is completely unrehearsed. Okay, that's not true. We rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed and rehearsed. Okay, wave memory. And I have a note, right? You got me that I have a note? No note. Okay.
You could note all you want.
This is a sort of surrealistic and a collage. Two memories that Helen had. One of swimming in salt water for the first time, and the other is about when she, the moment that she lost her sight and hearing and was aware of it. Wave memory. Salt water. The first time I entered a wave, my feet swept up under me by a force stronger than wind or mother's arms. Nothing held me. The salt water touched me like an earlier time. Featureless air, a bland surging engulfed me. Just a babe. Who could know anything of loneliness or death? When my little feet found no bottom, no sand scratched my toes, I was cut loose, returned to an elemental pulse, with no thought of exit or birth. Ivy green. Flickering leaves played across the bathroom floor. I toddled forward, arms outstretched. Then this, the receding sound of mother's breath at the phantom's ear. These she cannot claim. They are not hers. Language has not taken her. Little soul cast off into the deep ocean of herself. No mooring, no anchor. No mooring, no anchor. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So, Helen had wanted to have children and be a mother, and she was engaged to someone that her family didn't like and prevented her from eloping with. So that's what the myth of water, that's what started the myth of water in my head, was to try to depict that. There was a photograph of Helen with a little boy sitting on a rock wall, and if you didn't know that she couldn't see and you didn't know that he wasn't her son, you would think that that was a woman sitting there with her son or maybe her nephew or something. That picture, I couldn't get that picture out of my mind, so I incorporated it into the book. It's part of the story of how Helen dealt with not being able to do what she wanted to do, which was to marry, and then went on and gave her heart to the world as an advocate for the deaf-blind, as a person who, it's like her heart kept expanding and expanding. The little boy next door. I knew first from a distance his ramble across the yard toward the porch to sit with us, to sit with me on the rock wall. His smell of infant sweat and something else, a milk musk mixed with his mother's talc and the dark, deep, rich dirt from the backyard arbor. He played there late. When I moved in my garden, touching the rose trees to shake their fragrance at close of day, he ran quickly to nestle against my skirt, his small hand patting my thigh to signal, "I am here." One day a visitor asked to photograph us, and so we posed as I imagine a mother and child do for a memory book. His warm, damp body next to me, he pressed his head against my breast with a quiet knowledge. Let me finger his toes to feel dust powdered there and learn where he had played. I was younger then and felt the quickening of a mother's desire for his small body on hers. Later, when you did not arrive to take me from Alabama, I mourned the child lost to me. That child pressed from my body, the dark smell rising to tell me at last who I am. Thank you very much. I just have one more, and I really appreciate you being such wonderful listeners. I know it's a lot to listen to this way, but I really appreciate it, and we will go to the back and sit back there, and if you want to get a little book, Suzanne has them up at the desk, and we can sign them or just visit, but just thank you again for being an incredible audience. Ready? The myth of W-A-T-E-R. The myth of W-A-T-E-R. It was not a single word, and there was no utterance. You may have your play, your frozen moment in time, if these please you. But understand, teacher led me to the well house to distinguish between water and what holds it for drinking. I held the cup under the pump, and she wrenched the handle. I could smell her sweat, though I didn't know its name, only that it mixed with the garden and told me she was near. The liquid hit my fingers where I gripped the cup's handle. In my other upturned palm, she spelled the letters over and over like fire. There was a moment when everything came, that my mind accepted thought like a body crossing a threshold through the open door. It was illumination and joy, then more words until teacher, Helen, world, go into your life. Go into your life. Go into your life. Thank you. All right, let's go sit down. I apologize. I was in the moment. We would be happy to take a few questions. We don't want to extend it too long, but if anybody has a question about anything that we might answer, address it to one of us or both of us.
I just want to say the atmospherics of everything Larry was doing behind it made it a whole lot more impactful.
Thanks. So you recommend music and poetry together?
Yeah, don't lose
All right. Huh?
Don't lose that guy.
He's, yes.
And just want to say the collaboration is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Very, very, very nice.
Thank you.
Do you have a playlist?
A playlist?
Yeah. Like on Spotify or?
Oh.
Everything's coming off Spotify like tonight or tomorrow. Sorry.
You mean of his music?
Yeah.
No, not on Spotify.
But
I have records on
Bandcamp.
on
Bandcamp.
Apple Music and Amazon, and this record's and Bandcamp.
Bandcamp. It's on there.
Larry Mitchell.
So can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So did you compose after you'd heard the poem, or how did that work?
I forced Jeanie to read the poem over and over and over. I have a weird thing where I need to hear it or see it. So I need her to recite the poem over. She was not used to doing that. And I kind of close my eyes and go where it takes me. And then build up that. So gut first, and then experience after that, I guess.
It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Trying to remember what I did on the spot. That's been the trip. I'm like listening, going,
Well, and I can say one thing about that. It was amazing for me to watch him compose. No, literally, I'm on the sound booth over here. He's over at the board with the guitar, just to see it sort of be born. It was really exciting, and I know that that's what songwriters do, and they see things born in that way. But, you know, the writing world is it's almost like black and white compared to color with, you know, what you bring in. So, anyway, I don't know if that adds anything to your question. Yes.
Just, I'm gonna make a statement, and what it does for me in the music world, and it can only get better, you know, it only gets better. And the thing is that it brings, like you said, a three-dimensional aspect, and it brings a lot of the senses. You can start tasting what you're saying, you can start, you know, seeing beyond what Ellen, you know, did, what she did for us. And
Right.
so, and then you're in a three space, and you could close your eyes, and you don't have to watch the mechanics so much, but then you start really diving into what you're saying. It brings you a whole new dimension in my perspective.
Thank you. Thank you. I hope the people who fund things in the arts will encourage more people to do that. And I'm only half kidding. Thank you.
How did you decide which poems to use?
Okay. When I went there the very first time, I decided I would read.
I'm curious, because it started with one poem.
Yeah, it started at one time. I thought, well, let me read something I really know, I really love, I'm really comfortable with. I know it's got, you know, it can do it. And it was How to Enter the River. How to Enter the River, which I've read a million times, and I have this feeling about it. But so I went, you know, I sort of went that direction, but then I guess I got a little bit more bold, and I said, I want you to hear Helen. I want you to hear Helen. I want you to hear this. And so that kind of amped up the emotion that was coming across. Because, you know, it's a person speaking, she's talking about things of her heart. And so I think that maybe opened up more of a channel, maybe. I don't know.
Again, temporal and spatial is the two words I was trying to say earlier.
Okay.
So Larry, did you record her doing the spoken word things and then just say goodbye to Jeanie for a while and just listen to them over and over again, or it was all spontaneous?
No, before we, it was important for me to set up a somewhat of the vibe before she actually read the poem in the microphone. And the trick was spacing and timing. And as you see, we're trying to recreate that now.
Yeah, it's
because she's not used to speaking in the rhythm that we're usually doing it. So I had to set up somewhat of a vibe, and it was actually mostly together before she read the first time, and then a couple of times we went home and worked on it again, and then came back.
yeah.
This is timing.
It was very professional. It reminded me of Peter Gabriel's work, especially with that bass that you put in there. It
I
sounded like
love
Tony
Peter
Leonard.
Wow,
You
that's a
know?
great compliment.
But
Huge Peter Gabriel fan.
yeah.
Was it a similar process with Joy Harjo working with her, or is each poet her own?
Everybody's different. Yeah,
That's what
working with Joy, I started working with Joy in 2006, so almost 20 years ago.
Oh, wow.
And Joy mostly wanted to do a vocal record, so she sings and plays saxophone, and now she's got a drum kit. Joy got a drum kit.
Oh, gosh.
She plays everything. So Joy came in with songs, and you know it's funny. Literally, I lived in Santa Fe, New Mexico. A friend of mine called me from IAI, Institute of American Indian Arts. Said there's a great poet here, and she's looking to do a record. She needs a guitar player and a poet, and a producer. So Joy came over directly, and we started talking. We did one song, and she said, I want to do another record. And then in the middle of the record, remember, I don't know who Joy Harjo is, right? She goes, I have this gig in Dallas at a women's college. Can you put together a band? So I put together a band. We rehearsed with Joy. Never heard her do poetry. We get on stage in front of 1,000 people. She goes, Joy is like, hey, skip the first song. I'm going to start with a poem. Okay, that's bold. And she did it, and we were all going, oh my God, she's great. We had no idea. So that's when I started doing textures underneath. And we've done a couple of records where it's poetry and guitar, and lots of live shows where it's poetry and guitar. With Joy, you have to be ready for all kinds of surprises. But again, I started working on a record with Joy. It was a vocal and saxophone and Native American flute. Got maybe 2 months in before I ever heard her do any poetry.
Tell them about how you found out her awards. When you heard somebody say that, and you said you didn't know about all her awards and being poet laureate and all that, and you heard it at an event.
Yeah, well, I didn't know she was poet laureate.
Yeah, he didn't know. She was
But I met her before then.
Yeah. Well, she's just an incredible force. I mean, if you can find, is Grace online somewhere? That
Yes,
song?
that's how I learned it.
Okay. Just find Grace, the song Grace by Joy Harjo. It's a beautiful poem. I'm trying to find, I haven't been able to find the text of it, but it seems like it's written in couplets. When you listen to it, I listened to it several times, and it seems like it's written in couplets, that's the way the music is written, but it's a narrative. So it's a narrative in couplets, which is a really, strong way to do things. And it actually unlocked an idea for me that I'd been having about writing something. I got this visual image while listening to it, so she's a good person to bring into your universe if you're a writer or if you're a listener. She's pretty amazing.
This just feels so organic and present, like spontaneous, but also, it's deep but very present, and it's a wonderful way to hear music and poetry.
It was very spontaneous because I'm telling you, I was so bad the first time we went. You told me to slow down.
Slow down.
He goes, slow down. I was like, okay. And I didn't know I was going fast. But anyway, yeah. So
It was spontaneous because we did the first song, and you were in the car when we first talked about doing it.
Yeah.
And then she said, "Hey, I think I want to do another one, and I want to do another one." And then it was 4, then it was 5, and then
there was 8. Which, if you go back and look at the grant, I think it says 4. But anyway, I think I would like to see more of this done. I would like to see writers do this more. I would like to see venues have this available more, so that those who make it possible for people to do this stuff would see this as a genre. It's not spoken word. That's not what spoken word is. A totally different thing, and we're not collaborating really as songwriters exactly the way Lennon and McCartney did or something. But anyway, just thank you so much. We really appreciate it.
How did the two of you? How was this idea born? How did you get together?
Well, that's what I said. I met Larry when Joy got her award, because he came to see her because they're friends, and he somewhere.
Well, actually, I think it was the Harper
Lee Award. Yeah. And so we just started talking about it, and it was very. It wasn't really random, but it was not structured exactly.
That was 2 years ago, 3 years ago.
2. It was spring of 23. Wasn't it, Jay? Spring of 23. So 2.5 years ago.
Right, we're trying to one brain make one brain.
Because it's the kind of after the COVID.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
This was fun.
The Harper Lee Award is given every year in the spring in Monroeville as part of something that was originally called the Alabama Writers Symposium, and then it evolved, and because it changed agencies or entities that supported it, became called the Jay, what's it called now? Somebody help. Monroeville Literary Festival, because they wanted a place identity, which makes sense. So that was it, and so it's a lot of things have happened out of that award being given when writers come back to their home state of Alabama, like E.O. Wilson. People come back and maybe they've been gone for a long time and they don't realize that there's a lot happening with literary arts in Alabama. So it was good. It was good. And Joy was inducted into the Writers Hall of Fame in the spring, Alabama Writers Hall of Fame. So, okay. All right, well, we'll go back there and sit. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Huh? Take the water.
Do you want? Okay, what's your?
That was great. Well, great to be here. This is a terrific kind of place.
Hello.
Yeah. I just had to come and get you, huh?
Can I take a picture of this?
Yes. You look, and I might need to.
One more. I do things in black and white, though.
Okay, good.
Cool. Is that all right?
Yeah, you see that one? Why do you do black and white? You just like it that way?
It's quiet to me.
Oh,
Black and white's also timeless.
you got something there.
It's timeless.
Oh my gosh. Well, here, I'm gonna let you hold it and you
I
take
don't know
a
if I can
picture.
do this.
Okay, all you have to do is
Yeah, I just
get it
try.
like that.
Hold it without dropping anything.
Yeah, because you're tall. Whoops, can you get rid of
I got it.
it? You got it? It gives us 3 seconds. There we go. See, it lets you get yourself together. So do one more.
Okay.
That way you'll know. Thank you so much.
Tell me your name.
Yvonne. Macbeth.
Macbeth. It's a great name.
Yes. And you have CD and music?
I don't have any of my stuff here. We have the record that we did together, but
And it's
I'm on just Apple Music or Larry Mitchell. I have a record on Bandcamp that's called The Light Within, and it's an acoustic record. It's one of the most beautiful things I've done. The rest of the records are mostly electric rock blues and stuff.
And you said it's called Band something?
Bandcamp. Bandcamp.com.
Bandcamp.
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to look for it. Bandcamp.com. Okay, great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Yes, that's why I'm here. My mom and the whole family was born in that local, like in whatever they were born, but they left in the 50s, had my family in New York in the 60s, and moved back in the 90s, and I moved in.
What's your name? Your mom? Yes. What did she do? Alana? Yes, ma'am. It almost sounds like it's almost the same, Alana.
Okay.
Where you been hiding? You're so funky. I love it.